All right, are we live? All right, it looks like we're live. Hello, everybody. I am coming to you live from the still beautiful state of New Jersey. I'm here at Stockton University. Just got done running. I don't know, I did a fast mile, walk sprinted for another mile, and then walk sprinted for actually 2 miles. So I got 3 miles in today. It's a beautiful day out here. The birds are happy. Everything's happy today, man. This is what the track looks like. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful situation today. All right, so we're going to talk about Medellin, Colombia. We're going to talk about the cryptocurrency market, talk about the real estate market. We're going to talk about all these markets. We're going to talk about a lot of this cool things. I know it's been a while since I've been online doing any type of posts. I'm going to do this video. Then I will probably do a couple quick videos I could just post because it seems like they do better than these live streams. So, all right, we're gonna talk about Medellin first for the people who saw the hashtag Medellin, and then we'll jump into the cryptos after that. All right, so I was on a live stream yesterday. They were gonna bring me up, but I didn't want to come up last night. But there's a couple guys. They might have been to Colombia a few times. They think they really know. Well, I'm sure they know something, but they don't really know a lot. They probably know maybe 5% of what they should know. They're saying a lot of different things. Some truth, some not. Some they're just talking out of their ass. Sometimes, you know, I don't know. They're trying. Okay, I won't name the name of them, but they're trying. They seem pretty good guys. But I wanted to clear some things up. So I'm not talking shit. I'm just got to set the record straight a little bit. So first of all, transportation from the airport of Medellin, Colombia to wherever you want to go. The one dude was saying he was using Uber. You can use Uber, but people use InDriver. InDriver is like the number one thing that people use over there. But it's like 90 to 100,000 pesos to hop in a nice, safe, secure vehicle that's clean, sanctioned. You don't have to worry about somebody pushing drugs or women on you. And it's real simple to just hop off the airplane and go hop in one of those taxis, and they're secure. So I like to clear that up. They do use Uber, but nobody really uses Uber, honestly. Also, when you're at the airport, it might take about an hour to get through customs. Sometimes it takes less, sometimes it takes more, but it's about an hour. They're not checking for your checkmate. Only people that really check that checkmate, which is the health form, is, the people who are at your airline. You'll have one person that'll check it, and that's about it. She just looks at it and checks the box on her side. The immigration, they don't give a shit about any of that. All they want is your passport. They're gonna ask you like 2 or 3 questions. How many days you're staying, because you're allowed up to a certain period of time. So they need to keep track of that. I think it's like 6 months out of a year you can be in Medellin or in Colombia without a visa. So they're gonna ask you that. They're gonna ask for your passport, and that's about it. They're not gonna really bother you too much. They're very friendly. They want tourism. When you get on the other side of the airport, look for the ATMs that are red. I think it starts with a D and they're red, or the ones that start with a C and they're white. You'll get the most amount of money at a time, like over 1 million pesos. And the one with the red, they'll say if you want to do pay a fee, you just put no and you decline the fee. Sometimes, that's how you can save a lot of money, because people are spending a lot of money in fees. Do not go to Bank of Colombia ATMs. You're only going to get like 400,000 or 500,000 pesos, and they're going to charge you a ton of money in fees. So don't do that. You can use your credit card. A lot of credit card companies don't even charge any conversion fees. You know, and you just pay it at the end of the month. You don't have to pay any interest. What I like to do too is after I use my card for a while and I come back to the States, I like to get a new credit card with a new numbers. So you would have the same company, you would just request them to give you a new card with new numbers, because you don't want people that might have your numbers to potentially start running your card up when you're not there. Now I have a crypto.com card, so I can shut off the international feature, so nobody can be able to use the card. Also, it functions like a debit card, so I can pull money out of the ATMs, and you know, there's other like benefits to it as well. So that's when you get off the airplane, that's what you do. You get cash and whatnot. It would be if you guys go to Cartagena or Barranquilla, it's probably good to have a pen that can differentiate whether it's fake money or real money. If it's fake money, it'll be black when you mark it with the marker. If it's real money, it won't mark, it won't do anything. I got about 100,000 pesos in Barranquilla of fake money, and I didn't know about it until after the fact. So, you know, stuff you need to think about there. All right, so just pay the 90,000 or 100,000 pesos. Just get to wherever you need to go. Okay, so Poblado. I can understand why you would want to stay in Poblado. It is the rich section, it's nice and all that. You don't need to stay there. That's where all the gringos are dying. That's where all the girls they're picking up these girls from Poblado, and they're getting scoped, or they're just getting stabbed and robbed or whatever. I don't stay in Poblado. I only did one time when I first came to Medellin, but that was after like 10 or 15 times of coming to Colombia. I got to Medellin. I stayed at a hostel. Hostels are safe. They're not chica friendly. You can't bring a girlfriend or any type of girl there. But they're cheap. I know plenty of Americans, they collect Social Security, or they collect unemployment, and they just live in a hostel in there in Poblado. They spend nothing. They got a kitchen and everything. That's a real good, cheap way. If you go around the holidays like Christmas and stuff and New Year's, there's not going to be anybody in those hostels, and you'll have the whole place to yourself. So if you really want to get by cheap, you can stay, and with a kitchen and all, you can go to a hostel, or you just go outside of Poblado. I go to a place, it's called Casa Malibu. It's in Medellin, so that's close to what is it, Laurales. It's about, I don't know, $18 a day. The women there are pretty decent, that run the place. It's very clean, and like I said, it runs you about maybe $18. It's very quiet. It's very close to a track. They have a track, not this nice, not that nice. They don't have it that nice, but they do have a pretty nice track. They have an outside, it's a nice park that's very close to. So Casa Malibu, like I said, you might be able to get it for 60,000 pesos, 70,000 pesos a day. It's pretty cheap. And it's really close to a really nice mall. It's in a really nice area. It's not that close from the stadium, but it's close enough where you got a lot of restaurants and stuff all in the area. You can walk to everything. It's pretty safe. I stay there all the time. And a lot of my videos that I might have made, I don't know, you would have to go back through some of my videos. But a lot of my videos when I was in Colombia were from, you know, that area. And like I said, it's cheap, it's safe. You got a really nice mall there. If you want to talk to women, you go to the mall. You can talk to women that work there. There's plenty of really decent women if you're looking for women. If you're just looking to walk around and enjoy yourself and not be bothered, that's a good place to be. Like I said, that park is awesome. You could do anything there. You could swim in pools. You can do all kinds of stuff. I might even post some videos about it. Taxis are really cheap. You could just take taxis all over the place, but you do run a risk with taxis. Sit in the back. Always be paying attention. Don't make yourself look like a victim or an easy target. So that's a little bit about that. Be careful with some of these hotels. You can go to El Centro and get into a hotel that'll cost you like maybe $12 that are safe. I've done that plenty of times, but sometimes, the roaches are pretty bad. And I hate, German cockroaches. That's not my forte. And sometimes these hotels over in El Central, they're not very well built. So the noise, you hear the noise. But they are mostly chica friendly. Nobody cares as long as you pay. But security is still pretty damn decent, believe it or not. Now I walked around with my friends and stuff in El Centro. Well, with my one friend. The thing about Colombia in general is I know some of the Black Americans that go to Colombia, they're having a lot of problems. Some aren't, but a lot of them are. And the reason for that is they think it's the United States and it's safe. Look, you don't want to be wearing gold jewelry. If you got a lot of gold in your teeth, you don't really want to be in El Centro. These motherfuckers will rip your teeth out. Some of these criminals, man, just to get the gold in your teeth. So you don't want to be flashy. I walk around normally like I'm going to the gym. I don't carry any rings, no wedding rings. Well, I'm not married, but no rings, no jewelry, nothing like that. You don't want to walk around like you're the man, because people get threatened by that, and they get pissed. And you got to understand how Medellin rolls. Medellin rolls like each block has a shot caller. The whole city's like that. Even in the rich areas, you got shot callers. So you want to be friendly to everybody, because you don't know who you're being an asshole to. Even if you're an asshole to a kid, he's going to go to the local shot caller and he's going to probably get some guys to fuck you up. And Colombia, they're not going to really investigate if you get stabbed or murdered. I mean, they will, but they're not going to really find anybody. First of all, there's not cameras all over the city like maybe in some cities are in the United States. Also, resources are scarce, and and the cops are kind of overwhelmed, or they don't care, or whatever the case may be. Now they're starting to care a little bit more, because if Americans keep on dropping dead, that's bad for business and all. But to be honest with you, look, they all look the same. I hate to say it like that because it kind of sounds like shitty. But look, I hate to say it. I mean, all the brown people look the same, man. It's like I'm sure all the white people look the same to them, Look, they all look the same, man. You're not going to be able to tell what they look like. You're not going to be able to tell the police what they look like, unless you're able to get them on camera or take some pictures of them or something. You're not going to be able to recognize them in a lineup, and you're not going to probably even get a lineup. And chances are, you're going to be fucking around with a woman, and a woman's going to scope you, or she's going to say, look, I want some food, let's go. And you guys walk, and then you got 3 guys jumping you, and it was her friends that called you, and she made sure you had a boatload of money on you when you walked out the door. Or you're going to try to get some freak on in the hotel or something. And if you have one of these Airbnbs, are the worst, because there's nobody to protect you. That's why you should always go to a hotel that makes the girls register, because at least you got other people, locals that can probably tell who she is, probably have cameras, and probably can help the police if something happens to you. Airbnbs are good if you don't bring any locals, like any girls or guys or anything like that. If you bring Americans or something, but you even got to watch out for some of the Americans. If it's just if they're just American tourists like you, and you feel like that's true, that's all good. But some of these Americans, they're down there, they got coke addictions, and they're looking to set people up, and they work with the locals, criminals, to steal from you, and then they get a cut. So you want to be careful. There's a lot of shady Americans that go down there. You do got dudes down there that just want to pay for play, and it is legal down there, so whatever, it's all well and good if that's what you want to consume. But what normally gets people in trouble is the pay to play and the drugs. Um, and if you have a drug habit and stuff, you really need to just work on your drug habit, because Medellin is really going to destroy you. Uh, I don't fuck around with drugs. I don't fuck around with people with drugs. But because I'm worldly and I have to worry about my safety, I have to understand everything, the good, bad, and the ugly. So cocaine and shit, it's from what I hear, is extremely pure, 80 to 90% pure, and it costs like $8 for a bag. So that's why there's a lot of Americans that go down there. They're strung out on, you know, really cheap, high quality coke, or they take shit called 2C, which could be like pink or something else. It'll have like cocaine, fentanyl, and all kinds of stupid shit in there. You know, just shit that burns your brain out. But they go down there for that, all that type of shit. Marijuana, they go for a lot of really illicit, illegal activity. And so you got those Americans you got to really watch out for, because they become desperate, because they're always looking for that next high. And they normally associate with the dirty part of society, the bad part of societies. And if you're just a decent law-abiding citizen like I am, that just wants to go down there and enjoy the good weather, the good restaurants, get some cheap health care, you know, go talk to some really, I mean, they're all freaking pretty, and most of them aren't puntas. So just do it the old-fashioned way. It might take longer than just, hey, you know, let's go to the back room and bang, but it's safer to just do it the old-fashioned way, and you'll have something out of it. Most guys, from what I understand, they just want a good, decent woman to talk to, maybe, you know, take them around a little bit or something, you know, hug and kiss, you know, girlfriend, boyfriend shit. And that's the right way of doing it. There's plenty of Colombians that know English, that are decent women, that you could have probably a pretty good relationship with, and they look hot too, and you can bang them after you know, they're your girlfriend or something. I think men in general have things kind of a little fucked up, and it's not our fault. It's society, and it's the way the women are too in the United States, for example, because I'm from the United States. If you get to know the woman first and you force that issue and you delay sex as, you know, long as you can, a month or so, you know, at least go out on 5-6 dates, get to see if this girl is fucking crazy, or is she, you know, good. You know, but if she's a good girl, man, which there's a lot of good women down there, and she, you know, like I said, it's better just to do it the old-fashioned way. It might take a little longer. I could understand if you only have like 5 or 6 days down there, you want to go to a casa and go bang some, you know, whore. Okay, I get it. Go do your thing, man. But honestly, like this day and age in 2024, man, you can work for 6 months a year, get a friggin' fat bank account, and go down there for a few years, man. There's places down there where you can buy for $60,000-$70,000 a beautiful, you know, townhouse or a beautiful condo. Get a pension down there, and just, you know, have a seasonal business up in the Northeast and go down there the rest of the time, man. In the healthcare too, you can, if you get a retirement visa, you can get healthcare down there. I mean, really super good healthcare for like $150 a month. I met plenty of expats that were teachers, doctors, lawyers from the military, you know, that are, you know, they live down there because it's cheaper, it's nice and good, and they all have girlfriends, and they live fine. And it's close to, you know, Florida, Miami, it's like a few hours away. It's and it's real simple, and it's a good city, but it can beat you up, kill you, and spit you out like any city. So, so my thing is, you know, don't fuck around with these stupid puntas and these cockroach infested fucking hotels and this dirty shit, you know. If you just step it up a notch and you play the long game, you'll probably be pretty damn good. Also, stay away from drugs, stay away from these people. It's the same shit that we learned when we were young. Drugs are bad, you know, fast women are bad, you know, this stupid shit, it's all bad. So, you know, if you just stay on the positive side of things, you'll be good. But if you do want to pay for play, there's plenty of that. And, you know, go to a casa is what I would recommend. Don't try to find a girl on the street. You'll probably have a better experience, and you would probably be safer, and, you know, from STDs and getting robbed and all that shit. You know, so that type of thing. But like I said, that it's I don't know. I'm at a stage in my life where I don't give a shit about any of that. I just want a good place to live, have a good woman, have some good cash, and have access to healthcare in case if I have cancer or some shit, you know, I can be dealt with, and you know, that type of thing. So Colombia and Medellin and all, you know, can offer a lot. Now, another thing too is, okay, you know, talking about, you know, the Black Americans, you know, you got to be careful, my man. You got to be careful. Like, don't be flashing your shit. Don't be, another thing that I see Black Americans specifically doing wrong is they'll pull out like a couple $1,000s in pesos and walk around with all this fucking money. That is the most dumbest thing I could ever imagine. Like I said, you're not in the United States. You need to think like you are in a fucking ghetto. Yeah, it looks nice. Yeah, you're in the rich section of the city. It don't freaking matter, man. You want a burner phone, for example. You don't want to have your iPhone 15 out, you know, flashing the shit. There's a saying in Colombia, if you flash it, you're gonna lose it. All right, it's real simple. People will snatch that shit and run away, man. Especially if you're with like 5 other people, you think you're protected. You're not protected. The bad women are looking for you, and the bad guys are looking for you with your boys. You know, because if you're there with like 4 or 5 other guys, they know that the Americans like to say, "Hey, look at my hot ass girl," and you know, and kind of be like that with their boys. So you're going to be more of a target if you have a couple decent women that are with you, and then you have your boys with you. The bad girls aren't going to come up to them because they know that you have locals with you, and they're just going to move on. So if you're by yourself, you're actually safer if you're just by yourself, or if you have a local girl that you met, like that works, you know where she works, you know where she lives, and you talk to her, and you took her out a night on the town, you're going to be safe like that. You're not going to get scoped. If you're by yourself, chances are you're not going to get scoped. Just don't try to pick up any women when you're by yourself, like I said, during the night, because they're gonna get you. If you got all your boys, you know, 6, 7, 8 of you, be careful. You know, if you try to pay one of these women to come up to your room and all that, you might, you know, negotiate a price, and then what's gonna happen? She's gonna double or triple it, and then she's gonna cause all kinds of problems with you, because look, these people don't respect us at all if you don't deserve respect. So these women look at you as dollar signs, man, and if they gotta scope you, get their boys to stab you, whatever it is, the bad girls are gonna do this shit. So like I said, if you just want to have a good trip to Medellin, Colombia, enjoy the weather, enjoy all the Italian restaurants that are so good, and there's a place it's by Medellin, or over by the stadium. It's called American Comfort Italian Food, something like that. American Italian Comfort Food. The dude is from, he's a Colombian guy. He spent a lot of time in Philadelphia, and he can make a badass cheesesteak and all kinds of other food. I go to his restaurant every time I go there. And so go hit him up. And but there's plenty of good restaurants, plenty of good women there. Also, another place to meet good women is like these English tour guides. Man, some of these women are beautiful. They know English, and they love history because they're, you know, in these museums or whatnot. Dude, go ask them out, man. There's plenty of Mexican women that know English that go to college, you know, the universities in Medellin for their master's degrees. Go hit them up, man. Go talk to them. There's a lot of good women there that aren't scandalous, you know. And like I said, if you're willing to just adjust what you feel and what you say, or what you think rather, if you could just adjust it to, I'm gonna have a good relationship with this woman first, instead of just trying to get in between her legs, you're gonna have a good time, and you're probably gonna have something lasting. And chances are this isn't gonna be the last time, or you know, even if it's your first time to Medellin, it's not gonna be your last time. So go meet some friends there, man. I know people there that I've, you know, known for years, you know, and I still, when I go there, I meet up with them and all, and it's all good, you know. So, you know, keep it on the up and up. Also, like I said, there's other cities than Medellin. You got Armenia, you got Manizales, you got Barranquilla, you got Santa Marta, you got, you know, all kinds of the Coffee Triangle outside of Bogota. you don't have to go to the big cities. A lot of what's going on now around the world is Americans are going to like Thailand, they're going to Philippines and all to try to get these hot young girls. Like a 60-year-old can get like a beautiful 21-year-old or 20-year-old in the Philippines, right? And you know, whatnot. Look, these girls are getting used to Americans and getting used to Westerners, and you're not like you're not as special anymore. So you got to go outside the bigger cities into the smaller cities if you want the girls to give you the attention that you feel you deserve. Like when I started going to Barranquilla, man, they thought I was a Greek god, man. I was like the hottest guy on the planet, man. I can remember my friend and I in 2008. Man, there were nurses, right? And they had to be like 19, 20. Oh my God, there was like 30 of them. It was almost like they were drooling over us, man. I mean, the most hottest young, I mean, in their prime, 19, 20, 21. I was like 28 years old and they were drooling all over us, man. And, it was a great feeling. You're not going to get that feeling in Barranquilla anymore. They look at gringos and, well, generally speaking, the crime rate in Colombia has skyrocketed. The women and everybody are very nervous. And then they're also told that gringos will cut your head off or something. So they're scared of us now. So yeah, to get that, like, so it takes some time to talk to normal women in Barranquilla now. But Barranquilla used to be a beautiful place, a sweetheart place. I mean, the girls were just so nice and gentle and innocent. And really decent women. You can still find those women there, but you're going to have to scratch underneath the surface because everybody's just hardcore after 2020. So if you go to other places like Siloajo, I mean, there's a lot of other smaller cities, you're going to get that, like, wow, you're beautiful and I want to be with you and all that. And these women are beautiful, they're simple. And a lot of them just want a good man, believe it or not. So if you're looking to one day get down there, maybe have a farm or something, but you can move down there, man. Move down there, make your money up here, and move down there, or a seasonal business or whatever. There's plenty of ways doing it. Now with Barranquilla, there's plenty of places to live. There's really wealthy places, man, that you can get on the cheap. So like for $70,000, you can probably get like a 3-bedroom, 3-bath, big, huge condo in the Port of Colombia, overseeing the ocean. A car will run you about $15,000, a decent car. So let's just say under $100,000, you could have a brand new car paid off and a brand new house. And you're just living the fucking life, man. And you could, meet the girls, party at your house, whatever. There's a lot. Now, Barranquilla is a lot more expensive than Medellin, but it's a lot more safer, but it is dangerous still. You still have gunfights here once in a while. You still got people that are going to ram cars, jump out with guns and rob you, and that type of thing. And if you don't have, cops, and that type of thing, and doing investigations, it's not really, it doesn't really happen unless you pay them out of pocket. So it's still Colombia. If shit fucking breaks out, you're pretty much going to be fucked, but you still have to report it. So that's pretty much about, the Medellin stuff I wanted to go over. I don't know how many people are going to see this video, but, here's some of the ins and outs that I've learned. Other things is, if you're with a woman and she really, really, really wants you to get out of the apartment for any reason, or she wants to if she wants to get you out of the apartment, it's because she has her friends in the middle of the night that are going to jump your ass. All right, so if these girls, got your pants down or something and act like they're going to do something and then stop and say, oh, I want to drink right now, you just got to let them go. Just let them go, lock the door behind you, and that's it, because they're setting you up to rob you or stab you or something. Do not go into a room with 2 girls in your hotel or wherever the fuck you are. Do not do that. 2 girls in your apartment at the same time. First of all, they don't like that shit. Second, they're only doing it to rob you. Also, don't fight these fucking people when they bring a knife out. Just give them your fucking phone. That's why you have a burner phone, not your real expensive, nice phone. Go get a local phone that costs you like $50 and put some minutes on it. use that phone when you're out and about. Don't use your nice iPhone 15 or whatever. Because when these guys got knives, they're going to probably run 3 deep. And if you fight them, they could stab your ass. And then, it's going to be a fucking mess and nightmare. Chances are if you just give them the fucking money in the phone, they're going to leave you alone, because a lot of times they're just fucking starving to death and they got a drug habit. So you just give them the shit. 9 times out of 10, they're going to go away. They're not going to fucking murder you. Also, the taxis, be careful with some of these taxis. If a taxi ever tells you to sit in the front seat and you don't have a bunch of friends with you, he's probably going to pull a knife out. I had that happen to my friend, and he got 30,000 pesos and whatnot. So, be careful with that. I don't know. I'll tell you, if anybody ever brought a knife out in a taxi like that, I'll probably grab the knife like an idiot and fucking, snatch that shit out of his hand, or punch him in the fucking mouth, or have him smash into somebody else's car and then run away. That's probably what I would do. But like I said, I'm not always smart, but until I'm in that situation, I really don't know. All right, so that's about Medellin and all. I hope some of you guys find this video. I don't know, I got a real small channel. I'm not very consistent, so I don't know who's gonna pick this up about Medellin. All right, I'm gonna go get something to eat, and then I'm gonna come back and I'll talk about cryptos really quickly. But I'm really hungry. Like I said, I did my exercise. Let's again look at this beautiful track over here in Stockton University. So we'll talk about cryptos real quick. I'm gonna come back on another live stream. Like I said, I'm gonna go get something to eat, but all right, so cryptos. Bitcoin, nothing has changed with the market. Bitcoin and the cryptos do what it does normally. This should not be shouldn't be surprising to you. It's a great buying opportunity. I wish I had money. All my money's already tied up in crypto. I wish I had more money, because I would be buying fucking everything. But look, it's been floating around all-time highs. It hit the ceiling a few times, been floating around. It normally drops off hard and then stays at a base for a long time until we get the next round of pump. Bitcoin, what it recently did, going from the 30s, 40s to 50s, all up into the 70s, and then floating around 70s and 60s. That is completely normal, and it has done that millions and millions and millions of times throughout its history. There is nothing to be concerned about. It's actually just a great buying opportunity. Some of the news about Bitcoin is China's about to come on board through their ETFs, and they're going to be buying a shit ton of it. Also, you got the halving coming up, I think, in a few days or so. I don't know, even though I haven't been paying attention. So normally 6 months after the halving, it's kind of calm, nothing really happens, and then it just skyrockets. And right now, you got some really good deals, man. A lot of these tokens dropped off 20, 30, 40%. Link's $13, man. If you could pick up 100 Link for $1,300 and you hold it for a few years, you're probably going to be extremely happy. All these tokens are really good sell-offs. They're all going to come back, okay? Anyway, but yeah, everything is just kind of did its normal thing. I know people are blaming it on the Iran-Israel thing, but if you look at what happened when Russia invaded Ukraine, after everybody got used to it, everything rebounded and went sky high to all new time highs and beyond. So same thing's going to happen. You probably maybe have a couple weeks to flush out this war news, and as soon as this is normally what happens with Bitcoin and cryptos. There's a shock in the news. Cryptos react instantaneously. They stay down for a little bit when the coast is clear and there's not really much bad news coming back. It comes back with a vengeance and it goes back to all-time highs. So this is just like a nice little blip in history, for this dip. So if you got money, if you wanted to get into crypto, now is really actually the best time to get in right now. This could be the cheapest you buy, maybe ever, possibly, is these prices that you have right now for crypto. I mean, we can go from 63,000 to 85,000 in Bitcoin and not even look back. I mean, that's kind of what we're looking at. Yeah, the economy is falling apart. Yeah, it looks like it could be a wider conflict. Yeah, shit hits the fan. But what does that mean? That means the government is going to print money out of thin air. And why do we have cryptos? Why do we have Bitcoin? Why do we have gold and silver? Why do we have real estate? Why do we have any asset? It's because we're betting against the United States dollar. The United States dollar is not going to get any better anytime soon. They're going to continue to debase the currency. That's why you need assets, so you can protect yourself from the debasement. And yeah, in the short period of time, you'll have fluctuations in the short period of time, but we're not playing the short term, we're playing the long term. So you have to, but anyway, some of these cryptos that already sold off 40%, they're gonna come back probably 80%. The AI tokens, I don't know how, some of these tokens really didn't even take a big hit. Some of them just went down. Like I was looking at Goldfinch the other day, it was at $3.85. I think it got up to like $4.50. So, I mean, some of these tokens haven't even moved, and they're not going to move because everybody knows the game by this. Well, everybody who's paying attention kind of knows the crypto game. We all know this is bullshit. This is just short-term volatility, but it's a short-term pain for long-term gain. You don't sell your cryptos during these times. You don't try to play the market. You actually just dollar cost average and you accumulate more. Even with something like XRP that's been not really doing much, it's going back to 60 cents at least. It's at 45 cents. So even if you bought XRP, which I'm not recommending you do that because I have my position in XRP, I'm going to keep it until it goes to zero or makes me a millionaire just in that token. So I don't know. I'm just leaving it the way it is. I don't give a shit at this point because whenever I go to sell something, it goes up 5x, right? Yeah, I mean, it's a great buying opportunity when people are scared. The demand drops, and then that gives you a little way to get it. Yeah, inflation's high. You might see interest rate hikes, so then you might see more, issues and whatnot. But they got to ramp up the printing presses eventually here. So even if it's not now, it's next year or something. Still, as soon as they start ramping up the money, things are going to change and asset prices are going to be much higher, and it's going to be harder to get these assets. You want to get something that nobody's really paying attention to or they're scared to buy. Cryptocurrency right now, the adoption curve is now just happening. So it's still a great time to buy, but you're going to have a lot of big countries now getting involved. We even saw El Salvador. We thought they had like 500. They actually have 1,500. They bought 1,000 Bitcoin during the dip. You have, like I said, Hong Kong's going to be online soon. Then you have the Bank of International Settlements that nobody's talking about that. Nobody on YouTube fucking history right now, other than me, is talking about the Bank of International Settlements, how they're going to start buying Bitcoin and whatnot, and probably start buying the XRP stable token in 2025, in the beginning of 2025. So you're buying cryptos right now, not to make money right now. You're buying cryptos right now because you're a visionary and this is going to be worth like so much money in 2025 and beyond. So this kind of reminds me of the summer of 2025 where everything kind of rebounded, but we didn't really know where crypto prices were going to go. And then, January, you saw what happened. Everything went to friggin' to the moon and back. And that's where a lot of people made millions. So, like I said, it's up to you whether you want to be smart or not. You can, these messages that I'm giving you, I'm a small channel. Nobody really pays attention to me, even though I've been in the market for a very long time and I'm extremely knowledgeable in this. And I'm on the cusp of doing something beautiful inside the crypto industry. But still, my channel's very small. I don't have a lot of outreach. But you wanna look if the data categorized with meaning, which is information, and then the information turning into knowledge, and then you use that knowledge for decision making. You got to make sure it's factual. You have to make sure it's good information. Everything that I say to you about crypto, I'm going to say like 95% of it, you can find where I'm drawing these conclusions. You can find the articles that the Bank of International Settlements talks about this a couple years ago. They're planning for 2025. You could go back to my videos when I told you guys, like, they're planning shit. It takes time for them to work their plan. And I told you guys there's going to be crypto regulation because they're going to legitimize all this stuff. And I even told you guys there is going to be a spot Bitcoin ETF. I told you that before there was, and it happened. Like, I'm not some prophet visionary. It's, 1 + 1 = 2. You look at what they say, and then you look at what they do, and then you look at the numbers. Like I told you, the Rothschilds were buying Grayscale. I was telling you, in that because I found the documents. I found the 10Ks. I read through the documentation. I'm reading about XRP, who's adopting it, who's talking about it, who's integrating it. Look, XRP isn't going to do anything probably for 3 to 5 more years. It takes a long time for Swift to be 2.0 Swift, okay? It takes time for governments. Governments aren't fast. They're slow as shit. It takes a long time because if they fuck up, it's a worldwide fuck up, not just, a little bank fuck up or something. So, look, XRP is gonna do what it says it's gonna do, but it's gonna take a while. But all you gotta do is just pay attention, look at the data, look at the research, and look at what I say about Bitcoin and the patterns of Bitcoin, and how the correlation between the positive correlation between whatever the news cycle does and what Bitcoin does. If the news cycle is negative in the macro way, or negative when it comes to politics or something, or war, Bitcoin has a positive correlation to that, and it's going to crash. And if Bitcoin corrects or crashes, the altcoins do the same thing because they're more volatile. And then when it calms down and there's nothing in the news cycle, it comes back with a vengeance. It's the most simplest trade you can actually do. The simplest trade you can do is just where we are in the market cycle, where we are in the news cycle, and when it's smooth sailing, and you don't really hear much in the news, Bitcoin is popping up. But it doesn't matter what the price of Bitcoin is. It never. I'm old now, okay? So it doesn't matter what the price of Bitcoin is. The Bitcoin price is irrelevant. The Bitcoin price doesn't mean anything. It's shit. It doesn't matter. I don't care what the price of Bitcoin is. It's where it's going, how it's being developed, who's adopting it, how's it going to be used, and does it fit in with an information age, a digital age, an artificial intelligence age, and in a future where human beings will not do physical labor. Does Bitcoin thrive, and does it fit into that narrative? And it does. And it is the best form of money right now. It is the best form of money. I can send it to anybody, anywhere in the world, cheap. And I don't have to ask Daddy, United States, or anything. I could just do it. So there is a use case. It doesn't matter if Peter Schiff or these people think that's true or not think it's true. It doesn't matter. Nothing matters what people think. It's what is the reality and what is happening is what matters. And whether it's and if you, for example, the United States dollar is a shit coin. Is the worst shit coin. It's if you put Bitcoin up to the shit coin, the United States dollar, the dollar has one node, okay? Bitcoin has several hundreds of thousands of nodes probably. Okay, the United States government has one node. They can print. It's Dogecoin is better than United States dollar. Dogecoin is better. The inflation rate on Doge is actually less than the inflation rate on the United States dollar. Without the United States military, the United States dollar would have disappeared a long time ago. It has one node. You can print it to infinity. It's the most destructive, and maybe paper currencies in general, right? And they're not paper. They're all made out of cotton, by the way. Cotton fibers. They're not paper. It's the most destructive because people go to war over this. They go to war to force people to take our money. Gold is the same thing. Gold in the United States dollar has been the cause of more human death, more pollution in the world, more destruction, more pollution, more destruction to the environment, more contributing to global warming and everything. It is most destructive. It is not green at all. Bitcoin is extremely green. There's technology where you could, I don't know, you got rivers, you got streams, you got hydro dams, you have the methane from these, what are they called, trash dumps that you can capture. There's so much green energy. You have, for example, it's not very green, but it's a hell of a lot more green than other things. You got all this decaying and dying wood in the forest, okay? You can burn all this dead trees that are in our forest, which will cleanse out the forest. And instead of having controlled burns, which all that energy goes up in flames, and it contributes to nothing. If you burn off a forest, right? Controlled burn a forest. It does absolutely nothing but it pollutes the air, and yeah, it does clean up the forest. But how about you go in there, you cut all these trees down, instead of burning them down, you cut them all down that need to be thinned out, and you dry out that wood and you burn that wood, and then that hot water turns into a turbine, then can be not only power for your rigs for the Bitcoin network, but also because it'll be so hot, you can kiln wood, because kilning wood is drying out wood so you can use it for furniture. So not only can you burn wood to boil the water, to make the steam, to make the electricity, to then put it into something like securing the Bitcoin network. You could also use it to heat your house. You could also use it to give yourself electricity for your house. It's a better, more resourceful. So like the Bitcoin and the Bitcoin network in the mining rigs and all, it opens up something that the world in the United States does not think about, because we waste everything. And also too, if we're using that analogy, now this is just from burning wood that's already going to get burned off in controlled burns or going to rot in the dam in the forest, right? And all these storms that happen, all these beautiful, like hundreds and hundreds of board feet, thousands and millions of board feet a year. You got all the ash trees that are, they're all disappearing in the Northeast. The emerald ash board is destroying all the ash trees. And some of these ash trees, my God, the amount of wood you can get to make furniture, or just to burn for the Bitcoin mining, or turning into like what I'm talking about. But the heat can be used for awesome shit. The heat can not only be used for your house, but also be used for the turbines, but it could also be used to kiln wood, which nobody's thinking about. Nobody's talking about this shit. It really bothers my mind. If I really knew somebody that had multi-millions of dollars, or a corporation that wanted to sponsor me as a consultant and make this my pet project, and that would give me a livable wage to really explore this, I would give them 24/7, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I would barely sleep until this was up and gone. I mean, there's so much money to be made with green energy, or very little greenhouse gases. So these are my ideas. This is the shit that I want to come up with somehow. And also, if you got wood or something that you're boiling, using the boil or whatnot, or you could not only use burning wood to boil water and whatnot, but if you're by these streams and rivers, you can create these little electric dams, micro dams that can, I just feel like we don't really need to be so much, or we don't have to run our houses on these grids anymore. There's so much we can do. And I'm sure there's technology out there that, they're like little reactors, Why can't you have a small little reactor that, you could put behind you could put in like a neighborhood, and it powers everybody's houses, and it's extremely safe, extremely secure. or something. I mean, there has to be something, man. There has to be something we can do. But there's plenty of good opportunities and good ideas out there that can be done. That we can be more efficient, more effective. We can secure the more Bitcoin network, and it's less destructive than war. War is the most is just stupid. If Ukraine was rich as hell and wasn't it corrupt as hell, they wouldn't be dying right now. Israel wouldn't be able to go into Gaza if they all bought Bitcoin and they were worth, $1 trillion in value. Like, they wouldn't be able, like, the people in Gaza wouldn't be in an apartheid wanting to kill Israelis if they were rich as hell. They would be like Dubai. They wouldn't give a shit. They wouldn't care about two-state solution or any of that. They would have made their little strip like a mecca, and it's like and I don't know. There's just so much inefficiency in the world, and stuff like Bitcoin and securing the Bitcoin network. I don't know. It offers hope. It really does. It does offer hope. It is good money. It's good everything, man. I like it. It's better than what we have. And so I can continue to go down that rabbit hole, but the point is, don't be shaken out of your positions. Whenever you got these distortions, if you just fast forward 5-6 years from now, or 3 years from now, you guys can survive 3 years from now. Stop looking for the cheap, quick money. Look for the big shit. Look for the big shit, which is 3 to 5 years from now. How much will Chainlink be 5 years from now? How much will Bitcoin be 5 years from now? How much will these AI tokens be? I mean, all you got to do is just buy these tokens, sit and forget about it. And when it goes sky high, you catch a crypto pump, you just dump it, and then you're rich. And then you start your crypto mining and all that. And another thing, too, it's not just Bitcoin mining. People just want to focus on that. CKB. Okay, CKB, and I think I talked about this in a couple of live streams ago. There's other coins that you can mine through miners. CKB is one of them, and they have halvings. And, you get a boatload of CKB, and that damn thing runs to $1 or something. Now you're fucking rich. Now you can go and buy a shit ton of Bitcoin miners and start a Bitcoin mining business. So there's plenty of things to do here. You don't just have to save up your money and buy these tokens and hope for the world. There's plenty of money to do. There's plenty of things to do in crypto. And also, I challenge you guys. Like, I'm gonna eventually get a 3D printer. I want Bitcoin art. I can do Bitcoin art, sell my Bitcoin art, take my money, and buy Bitcoin that way. Or just sell it in Bitcoin. Like, I love Bitcoin art. There's nobody doing Bitcoin art. There's only a handful of people in the world that do Bitcoin art. I just bought 3 grenades. They're special edition, Max Kaiser edition, El Zante flag to usher in Bukele, his second term. And it was limited edition, and it has Max Kaiser's signature on it. And and he endorsed it. Okay, these Bitcoin art in the beginning, like we are now, we're still in the beginning of this Bitcoin and revolution and all this other stuff. Like this, like I remember my friend G Money, we call him. He's on YouTube. He has a channel. He wanted me to buy. It was one of those Bitcoin coins. It had a hologram coin in it. I didn't know it at the time, but there was 10 Bitcoin on there, or 5 Bitcoin. I remember there was a few Bitcoin on them. And they're like, yeah, you buy this. It was like $1,000 at the time, and you can buy like a Bitcoin. It had like 5 or 10 Bitcoin on it and all. Like, I didn't even think about it. I thought it was whatever. Well, guess what? Not only is the Bitcoin price extremely expensive, but the novelty of having that Bitcoin and the private key inside it, I mean, just that is worth a lot of money, and the Bitcoin on it. So Bitcoin art, you can tell that nobody is doing Bitcoin art because there's not a lot of Bitcoin art out there. There's a handful of people doing it. And I'm talking about Bitcoin or crypto ceramics. I'm talking about 3D printing. I'm talking about all this stuff. It's real easy to do. You could do it out of your basement, a lot of this stuff. And and you can make a shit ton of money out of it and sell it in Bitcoin, and you got yourself Bitcoin. But also, if you're artistic, or there's people that do T-shirts and all. But I have a lot of really good ideas about all that stuff, and it's going to happen. But unfortunately, it's not going to happen right away. It's going to take time for me to develop all this stuff and get with the right people, develop the websites, and also just crypto mentoring, or just mentoring in general. I want to be a life coach. I been doing a lot of studying. You guys been knowing I've been doing a lot of studying. I'm ripping apart all the basic fundamentals. I'm going back to really, what is data, what is messaging, what is propaganda, what is information, what's the definitions of these things, what to believe, what not to believe. Trend analysis, all this stuff. I'm going back to the basics. I'm dissecting and going back to the actual dictionary definitions, and I'm building something beautiful. And I'm really finding out that to be successful and whatnot, it's really not that hard. I think it's just a lack of education, and colleges and parents and all that. Nobody really has a good platform to train anybody, in a very logical way where it's researched. So, there's going to be a lot of good things in my future here. I'll be able to help you guys out. But yeah, man. So that's a little bit about the crypto space. You just need to get in there. Like I've been saying, get some of these vehicles. Call them money buckets, okay? Like, everything is a vessel, right? Some things get you money fast, some things get you money over time. The point is that each one of your cryptocurrencies is like a bucket. And sometimes the bucket, it'll rain, and you'll have a bucket and you can catch all that rain, that money, right? So, you want plenty of buckets out there to catch all this stuff, because there's a lot of money that's going to be falling from the sky at some point in time. Now, just like here, it's a beautiful day right here, not a rain cloud in sight. Okay, that would be the crypto space right now. You get into the crypto space, okay? Get in the crypto space now. We just, blew off top, down 30%. This is the best time to get into it. So cryptos would be like your buckets that you want to catch your money in. Well, the same thing, if you go get a bucket right now, eventually it's going to rain where I am at Stockton University in New Jersey. It's going to rain, and if you have buckets out, the buckets are going to catch the rain. This doesn't have to be very hard. It doesn't have to be very hard at all. It can be very easy and very logical if you just, keep your emotions down out of it and just look at things logically. So, well, I'm going to go get something to eat now. I'm going to get studying again, because I study every single day, every day, because that's what I do. Because knowledge, if put into action, is power, and you have no power if you don't put anything that you know to good use. So I hope this video finds you guys. Hope you enjoy this video. Like and subscribe, and see you in the next one.